All right, so my grandmother just died at 102 and a half. My grandfather died in the year 2000, and he was 78 years old when he passed. So anyway, when we're cleaning up the house that my grandmother lived in out in Long Island, and I had found some of his stuff, that medals from the military and from a lot of the things he was involved with. This isn't even close to what he was involved with. He was an amazing guy. Um, so anyway, I want to start out with the fact that he was very athletic. Um, he was involved in a lot of sports. He was a gymnast. He was a handball champion, amongst other things. Anyway, he was born in Germany, and he came over on Ellis Island as a kid. And when he got older, he joined the Air Force, and he ended up bombing Germany in World War II. And I remember one day I asked him, I was like, what was it like when you had to bomb your own country? And he told me that Hitler was a maniac and he was insane, so it had to be done. So it was what it was. And he used to always sit on the couch and watch World War II movies, with them flying over Germany and bombing it. And it would be like that flak coming up and blowing holes through the plane and burning the sides of people's faces off and stuff. And I asked him, I said, was it really like that? And he said, exactly like that. So anyway, it must have been crazy. But anyway, I just wanted to honor him by showing some of the stuff I found in a drawer. I mean, like I said, I don't know if this is all his stuff, all his medals. It's probably not. But I'm going to start off with the fact that he was very athletic, and he was a handball champion. And I have this newspaper article here from 1949, where in Manhattan they had a handball and horseshoe tournament, and he placed second place in the handball tournament. And this is from October 18th, 1949. So, want to grow thicker hair. Anyway, if I look real close here, I can see in Manhattan, he was in the seniors league for some reason. He wasn't very old back then, so I don't know why they considered him seniors. I guess that means adults to them back then. But first place was to some guy named Adrian. Let me just zoom in a little. Adrian Litzy, and second place was to Henry F. Hoos. Now, I don't remember if I mentioned it, but when he came over on Ellis Island, his name was Heinrich Franz Hossa, and they changed his name to Americanize him to Henry Frank Hoos. Anyway, so he got these medals for the second place. This one's a little tarnished, but if you look at it, it's the New York City Department of Parks Handball Championship medal for second place. And on the back, you can see, and it coincides with that paper of 1949. And then he's got this other medal. I guess this is from the same thing. It's got a genuine rhodium finish, so it's rhodium plated for the same thing. The Daily Mirror gave this to him. New York City Department of Parks Handball Championships. Okay, so these are just some pictures that my mom had sitting out of him in his uniform smoking a pipe, and this is him when he's a little younger. And this is just a picture I found that my grandmother held onto in her book. She really liked that picture of him. So I also found some of his medals. I don't know if this is all of them, but he's got this one here, and it's got an eagle. I'm going to zoom in again a little bit. Eagle carrying lightning bolts on this side, and then on this side it just looks like the sun. And then I thought this was little grenades, but looks like some kind of leaves with grapes or something. And then that metal there, I don't know what that is. He's got this. He's got this efficiency, honor, fidelity, and on the reverse side it says for good conduct, I guess while he was in the military. And then he's got this other World War II medal. I don't think there's any. Oh, it does say something on this side. Let's see. It says clear shot of that. United States of America, 1941 to 1945. Freedom from fear and want. Freedom of speech and religion. And I don't know if this is considered a medal or just something he had, or this. I don't know if that's from the war, but that's about a mission 248, which I believe he was in. So anyway, he's also got these cool looking sashes that you would put on your jacket or your sleeve. That one's really cool. I don't know exactly what they mean. And I guess this was somewhere where he went in the war, named Capri Monte Tiberio Roven, I guess it says. It's a postcard. And here's another one. Let's see, what else do I have here? This is a registration certificate. For selective service. At that time he was 5'10", 185 pounds. He had gray eyes, they said, which was probably more like hazel or blue, and blonde hair, and they consider him a white boy, and his complexion is light. There's Henry F. Hoos. I don't know what QAC stands for. And what's this? Notice of classification. Local board. So he was on some type of a board on October 15th, 1945. Local board, New York County, Lexington Avenue. Official business. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Looks like he received 7 Bronze Stars. He was also an aerial gunner. He was also a radio operator. Overseas service bars he got 1. And on the other side, he got 3 air medals, whatever those are. Anyway, something about Amarillo, Texas here. He was whatever a T Sargent is. Here's his Charleston Army Air Base ID pass. He's a good looking dude. He's got his fingerprints on there. And then this looks like some kind of ID that he had to carry when he was over in Germany, I guess, in case he got captured. I'm assuming that's what that language is. Don't really know. This is some cool artwork, I guess, that one of his buddies made for him, I'm assuming. Sketched by an Italian artist by Italy, October 4th, 1944. So that's supposed to be my grandfather, and it says his name Henry on there. I found this basic training songbook that they gave them, and I love the cover. It's got an American soldier bayoneting Hitler. It's a little folded, so part of Hitler's head's on the other side. But there's his name inscribed on the back, or written on the back. Let me see if I can straighten this out so you can see Hitler's face a little better. It's pretty funny. I love that. And here's another songbook that I guess they gave him. It's got all types of songs, both of them do, that the soldiers would sing during the war. Just another booklet about the war that he had in there. Not really gonna go through that. And then he's got some veterans ID information. And then he was also into photography, so he took pictures from the sky while he was bombing Germany with his fellow soldiers, I guess, or airmen. Look at that. He even got some of the bombs exploding over Germany. Must have been crazy. He was very proud. And he even had a bunch of these t-shirts. We used to all wear them when we were kids. And it looks like, that's pretty funny. Diocese of Long Island. It's okay not to drink. And he was a proud American patriot, spirit of 76. I just figured that was like kind of like supposed to be like a wagon wheel, so I took it out. And he was involved in some missions, I see. And that's a B-24 Liberator, I believe, that he flew in. I don't know if it's the exact one, but he was also involved in this group for the 454th Bombardment Group. That he, an association that every few years they would, send out these pamphlets to them to show who was still alive in the group, and it also like gives contact information if anybody moved to the soldiers. So I just put this one on the top because I noticed that he circled his name. Yeah, it's next page, I believe. There he is, Henry F. Hoos, and it says he was the radio operator on the plane, but he was also a gunner. And if you go back here, this must have been one of his buddies, Edward Frost, who was a ball gunner. Can you imagine that job? Fighter planes coming at you, and you're in that little ball on the bottom of the plane. He was in different missions. These are the only ones I could find that I see in the drawer. Mission 258, Mission 250, and Mission 249. Yeah. So, and just thought it was cool to record this and have a little piece of history to remember my grandfather. And that's a flag that he was given, my mom or my grandmother was given at his funeral. So, I didn't even tell you about this, did I? He was a gymnast, that as I mentioned earlier, and he joined this group. It was a German group of gymnasts in the United States, and it was called Turnverein. I don't even know if I'm saying it correctly, but Hitler was also involved in athletics, and my grandfather actually he was actually a top gymnast, and he quit this group because Hitler became involved, which is kind of crazy. But anyway, this was all just a little peek at some of the cool things my grandfather did, and I think that he was a great man. I had no idea how great he was, because when I was a little kid, he was already an old man. So he did a lot of things, more than most people would ever do in a lifetime. Anyway, I hope you liked my video. Thought this was a really cool little video and piece of history, and this is my favorite thing on this whole thing. Not really my favorite, but I just love the picture. Let's get Hitler's face in there one more time. That's right, getting bayoneted by a U.S. soldier. Anyway, have a good day, guys. I'm out.